Ladies and gentlemen, time is the one resource you will never get back. It is your most precious, non-renewable asset. Yet, so many of us give it away like it grows on trees. Scrolling endlessly, worrying about what others think, chasing distractions and comparing our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Stop. Focus on yourself. Not because you are selfish, but because you are worthy of your own best efforts. When you divert your energy outward, trying to keep up, trying to please, trying to be everything to everyone, you dilute the power that you hold within. Your dreams, your goals, your potential, they all demand your attention. And that attention can only come from one place, within. Focus is not a magic gift. It's a skill you build by consistently choosing what not to do. It's saying no to the noise, the distractions that scatter your energy. It's refusing to waste your time on things that don't align with your vision of yourself. The moment you start protecting your time, the moment you start respecting your own journey, everything changes. Invest in yourself. Learn, grow, heal, and push forward. Self-investment is the only investment that guarantees a return. When you put your time into building your mind, your skills, your character, no one can take that away from you. And lastly, stop looking outside for validation. You don't need someone else's approval to know you're on the right path. When you trust yourself, when you own your story, that's when real progress happens. So today, decide to stop wasting your time. Focus on you, because you are worth the focus, the energy, and the love it takes to build the life you deserve. Thank you. Your time is your most valuable asset. Protect it fiercely. Think about it. Unlike money, which you can earn, save, or spend, time is something you can never get back once it's gone. Every second that passes is a second you'll never experience again. No matter how rich, powerful, or successful a person becomes, they all have the same 24 hours in a day. What sets people apart isn't how much time they have, but how they choose to use it. If you waste your time chasing distractions or giving your energy to things that don't serve your growth, you're essentially throwing away the one thing you can't replace. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that time is infinite, that tomorrow will give you more opportunities to get things done, or that you have plenty of chances to start fresh. But life doesn't work that way. Time is constantly slipping through your fingers, whether you notice it or not. If you're not intentional with how you spend it, you risk waking up one day wondering where it all went. The days, weeks, months, and years that quietly disappeared while you were caught up in things that didn't truly matter. Protecting your time means being deliberate. It means setting boundaries with people and activities that drain your energy and distract you from your purpose. It means saying no, sometimes firmly, to commitments that don't align with your goals or values. It's about prioritizing your own growth over pleasing others or seeking external approval. When you fiercely protect your time, you're sending a powerful message to yourself and to the world that you respect your journey, your dreams, and your potential. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot achieve your best when you are scattered and overextended. The moment you start treating your time like the priceless resource it is, your perspective shifts. You begin to realize that every minute counts, that every choice matters. You start to invest your time wisely, dedicating it to activities, relationships, and goals that move you forward, that challenge you to grow, and that fuel your passion. When you protect your time fiercely, you are not just guarding your schedule, you are protecting your energy, your focus, and your peace of mind. You create space for clarity and creativity. You free yourself from the noise and chaos that pull you in a million directions. This focus becomes a powerful force that propels you toward the life you want to build. Remember, you don't need more time, you need better focus. The secret is not in finding extra hours in the day, but in reclaiming control over the time you already have. This means cutting out distractions, social media binges, endless notifications, toxic relationships, and unnecessary commitments. It means being honest with yourself about where your time really goes and making tough decisions to realign it with your values. Protecting your time also means protecting your mindset. When you guard your time fiercely, you're telling yourself that your dreams are worth fighting for, that your goals are worth prioritizing. You create a mental environment where growth is possible, where progress becomes inevitable. This mindset is what helps you push through challenges, resist procrastination, and maintain discipline even when motivation fades. Serious protection of your time is not selfish, it's necessary. It's the foundation of a fulfilled and meaningful life. Without it, you risk being a passenger in your own story, letting the circumstances and demands of others dictate your path. But when you take ownership of your time, you become the driver, the creator, and the architect of your future. Today, make a commitment to yourself to protect your time fiercely, to honor it like the rare treasure it is, because how you spend your time is how you spend your life. Guard it, value it, and invest it wisely. When you do, you're not just protecting your time, you're protecting your destiny. Comparison and distraction are the biggest thieves of your progress. They sneak into your life quietly, almost unnoticed, but their impact is profound and damaging. When you compare yourself to others, you shift your focus away from your own journey and instead fixate on someone else's achievements, appearance, or circumstances. This act of comparison is a trap, a deceptive thief that steals your confidence, your motivation, and ultimately, your progress. It convinces you that you're not enough as you are, that you need to be someone else or have what someone else has to feel worthy or successful. But the truth is, your path is unique, and your worth cannot be measured by the yardstick of another's life. Distraction works hand in hand with comparison, pulling your attention in countless directions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, from the constant buzz of social media notifications to the endless stream of news and entertainment designed to keep you scrolling and clicking. Every distraction chips away at the limited amount of focus and energy you have each day. When you allow these interruptions to control your attention, you lose valuable time and mental clarity needed to pursue your goals. Instead of progressing, you end up stagnant, overwhelmed, or caught in cycles of procrastination and self-doubt. The combination of comparison and distraction is a double-edged sword. While comparison makes you question your value, distraction prevents you from doing the deep, focused work required to grow. Together, they keep you stuck in a loop of feeling inadequate and unproductive. They create noise in your mind, drown out your inner voice, and make it difficult to recognize your own potential. This is why it's critical to recognize and address these thieves before they rob you of your future. Breaking free from comparison means shifting your mindset. It means reminding yourself that everyone's journey is different, shaped by their unique experiences, timing, and challenges. You don't have to measure up to anyone else's standard because your success is defined by your own values and vision. Instead of looking outward for validation, turn inward. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and focus on continuous improvement. Remember that growth is a personal process. It's about becoming a better version of yourself, not a copy of someone else. Guarding yourself against distraction requires intentional habits and boundaries. Start by identifying the biggest distractions in your life and taking steps to minimize or eliminate them. This might mean setting specific times to check your phone, using apps that limit screen time, or creating a workspace that is free from interruptions. Learn to prioritize deep work, those periods where you focus completely on important tasks without multitasking or succumbing to interruptions. This kind of focused effort leads to meaningful progress and helps you build momentum. Cultivating mindfulness also helps you recognize when comparison or distraction is creeping in. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. When you notice yourself slipping into unproductive comparisons or mindless scrolling, gently bring your focus back to the present moment and what you can control. Practice gratitude for what you have achieved and the opportunities ahead. This mental shift strengthens your resilience and keeps your attention anchored to your own goals. The key to overcoming these thieves is to reclaim your attention and honor your individuality. Your energy is limited, and how you spend it will shape the trajectory of your life. When you stop comparing yourself to others and stop allowing distractions to steal your focus, you free yourself to channel your effort into what truly matters. This is where real progress begins, not by chasing someone else's success, but by committing fully to your own path. Comparison and distraction may be persistent, but they are not undefeatable. You hold the power to choose what you focus on and how you use your time. Protect your progress by shutting out the noise and tuning into your own journey. Remember, every moment you spend fixating on others or losing yourself in distractions is a moment taken away from your growth. When you embrace your uniqueness and cultivate disciplined focus, you unlock your true potential and set yourself on a path to lasting success. True growth comes when you look inward, not outward. It is easy to get caught up in external measures of success, the approval of others, the accumulation of material things, or the comparison to people around us. But these external markers are fleeting and often misleading. They can give you a temporary sense of satisfaction, but they rarely lead to lasting transformation. True growth, the kind that shapes your character, your mindset, and your life, is born from self-reflection and inner work. It comes from the willingness to pause, look inside, and face the truth about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, and your dreams. When you look outward, you are often reacting to the world around you. You chase what society deems important or follow the crowd's expectations. This constant external focus can make you lose touch with who you really are and what you genuinely want. You start living a life based on external validation, which makes your happiness fragile and dependent on factors beyond your control. But when you look inward, you reclaim your power. You begin to understand yourself deeply, your values, your passions, your limits. This self-awareness is the foundation for meaningful growth. Growth that comes from within is authentic. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not or meeting unrealistic standards set by others. It's about embracing your true self, including the parts that are imperfect or uncomfortable. This kind of growth takes courage because it requires honesty and vulnerability. You have to be willing to confront your own fears and limiting beliefs. You have to face the habits or thoughts that have held you back. But in doing so, you free yourself from self-imposed barriers and open the door to transformation. Looking inward also means taking responsibility for your own life. It means realizing that your happiness, success, and fulfillment are not handed to you by circumstances or other people, but created from your mindset and actions. When you stop blaming external factors and start owning your choices, you become the architect of your own destiny. This shift in perspective is empowering. It moves you from being a passive observer to an active participant in your own growth. The inner journey is not always easy. It requires patience, discipline, and compassion for yourself. You may discover parts of yourself that are difficult to accept. You might have to break old patterns and build new habits. But every step you take inward strengthens your resilience and expands your capacity for change. It's in this inner work that you develop emotional intelligence, self-control, and clarity of purpose, qualities that are essential for long-term success and happiness. Furthermore, true growth rooted in introspection creates a ripple effect in your external world. As you become more self-awareness and centered, your relationships improve. You communicate more effectively, set healthier boundaries, and attract people who support your growth. Your decisions become more aligned with your values, leading to greater satisfaction and less regret. You become less reactive and more intentional in how you live your life. In contrast, focusing only on external achievements can lead to burnout, frustration, and a constant feeling of emptiness. You might achieve success in the eyes of others, but feel disconnected from yourself. That's because without inner growth, external accomplishments are like building a house on sand, unstable and unsustainable. If you want to grow in a way that lasts and truly transforms your life, start by looking inward. Create space for reflection. Ask yourself the tough questions. What do I truly want? What beliefs are holding me back? How can I become a better version of myself? Listen to your intuition and trust the process of self-discovery. Remember, true growth is not a destination, but a journey, one that begins inside you. When you invest in understanding and improving yourself from within, you build a foundation that no external circumstance can shake. Your growth becomes deeper, richer, and more fulfilling, and ultimately, this inner transformation will reflect outward, allowing you to live a life of purpose, confidence, and lasting joy. Focus is a muscle. Train it by saying no to unnecessary noise. Just like any muscle in your body, focus requires regular exercise and discipline to grow stronger. It doesn't develop by accident or simply by wishing for it. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, pulling your attention in dozens of directions at once, from social media alerts to endless emails, from constant messages to the lure of multitasking. The noise around us is overwhelming. If you want to accomplish meaningful work, reach your goals, and live with intention, learning to protect your focus is not optional, it's essential. Training your focus means becoming highly selective about where you direct your attention. It's about recognizing that not every task, request, or distraction deserves your energy. Saying no to unnecessary noise is the first and most powerful step in this training. This noise can take many forms: the constant barrage of notifications that interrupt your day, the people who drain your energy with trivial demands, or even the self-imposed pressures to be busy all the time. Each one chips away at your ability to concentrate and be productive. When you say no to this noise, you create space, mental and emotional space, for what truly matters. This space allows your focus muscle to engage deeply with the tasks that align with your goals and values. It enables you to work with intensity and clarity rather than scattering your efforts across a million small distractions. Think about it. If you spread your attention thinly, you'll never get the satisfaction of deep work, the kind of work that leads to mastery, innovation, and progress. Saying no can be difficult because it often means disappointing others or resisting the temptation to be everywhere at once. Society tends to reward busyness and multitasking, but those things rarely lead to real results. Real achievement comes from single-minded focus, from dedicating uninterrupted time to important work. Training your focus means being comfortable with saying no to meetings that aren't essential, to social invitations that don't serve your well-being, to mindless browsing that wastes your time. Every no you say is a yes to something bigger and better. Your growth, your dreams, your peace. Building your focus muscle also means establishing routines and habits that support concentration. This could be setting specific work hours, creating a distraction-free environment, or using techniques like the Pomodoro method to train your mind to stay on task. Over time, these habits condition your brain to resist interruptions and maintain attention longer. Like lifting weights, it may feel uncomfortable at first, but consistency leads to strength. Training your focus requires mindfulness, being aware of when your attention starts to wander and gently bringing it back without judgment. The mind naturally wants to drift. It's part of how we are wired. But with practice, you can develop greater control over your focus, noticing distractions and redirecting your energy where it counts. This mindfulness strengthens your mental endurance and helps prevent burnout as you become more efficient with your time and energy. When you treat focus as a muscle and commit to training it, your productivity skyrockets. You become more effective, producing higher quality work in less time. Your stress levels decrease because you are no longer overwhelmed by scattered attention. Instead, you experience a sense of flow, that deep, fulfilling state where time seems to disappear and you are fully engaged in your purpose. Saying no to unnecessary noise is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that your time and attention are precious and that you refuse to let them be stolen by things that don't serve your higher goals. It's about choosing to invest in yourself and your future instead of being a passive participant in a world designed to distract you. So start today. Identify the noise that steals your focus and begin saying no to it. Protect your attention fiercely, knowing that every time you do, you are strengthening the muscle that will carry you toward your dreams. Remember, focus isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart and with intention. Train your focus, guard it fiercely, and watch how your life transforms when your energy flows where it truly matters. Self-investment pays the highest dividends in life and success when you choose to invest in yourself, whether through education, skills development, health, or emotional well-being. You are laying the foundation for a future that is rich with opportunity and fulfillment. Unlike external investments that carry risks or depend on market fluctuations, investing in yourself is a guaranteed way to increase your value and potential. The returns may not always be immediate, but they compound over time, shaping the person you become and opening doors that otherwise would remain closed. Many people hesitate to invest in themselves because it requires time, effort, and sometimes money, resources that feel scarce or better spent elsewhere. But the truth is, neglecting self-investment is the costliest mistake you can make. Without constant growth and renewal, skills become outdated, motivation wanes, and confidence erodes. When you stop investing in yourself, you stall. You settle for comfort, for familiar routines, and for opportunities that fall short of your true potential. But when you commit to self-investment, you choose progress, resilience, and possibility. Self-investment comes in many forms. It can mean dedicating time to learning new skills that advance your career. It can mean prioritizing your physical health through exercise, nutrition, and rest, which fuel your energy and clarity. It can mean working on your mental and emotional well-being, developing habits like mindfulness, journaling, or seeking mentorship that strengthen your mindset. It also includes cultivating relationships that inspire and challenge you, building a network of support that lifts you higher. The most successful people understand this principle deeply. They don't just work hard, they work on themselves continuously. They read books, attend seminars, take courses, and surround themselves with others who push them to grow. This constant self-investment creates a cycle of improvement that propels them forward, even in the face of obstacles. They realize that the greatest asset they have is themselves, and they nurture that asset daily. Self-investment builds confidence. When you know you're growing, learning, and taking care of yourself, you naturally feel more capable of tackling challenges. This confidence fuels action, which creates momentum. Without it, fear and doubt can hold you back, keeping you trapped in cycles of procrastination and regret. Investing in yourself is an act of self-respect, a message to the world and to yourself that you are worthy of your own best efforts. It's also important to remember that self-investment is not selfish. Taking care of your needs and growth equips you to contribute more meaningfully to your relationships, your work, and your community. When you are at your best, you bring more value, creativity, and energy to everything you do. This ripple effect amplifies the returns on your investment far beyond your personal life. Of course, self-investment requires patience and discipline. The benefits don't always show up overnight. Sometimes it means making sacrifices in the short term, waking up early to read, saying no to distractions, or stepping outside your comfort zone. But these sacrifices pay off in the long run. The person you become through self-investment is stronger, wiser, and better equipped to seize opportunities and overcome setbacks. The dividends of self-investment manifest in every area of your life. Financial success becomes more attainable because you have the skills and mindset to create value. Personal relationships deepen because you understand yourself better and can communicate more authentically. Your sense of purpose and fulfillment grows because you're aligned with your true goals and values. So, make the decision today to invest in yourself. Prioritize your growth, health, and happiness as the most important investment you will ever make. Protect your time and energy as precious resources for this purpose, because when you do, you are not just building a better life. You are creating a legacy of strength, wisdom, and success that lasts. The highest returns you will ever receive come from the commitment you make to yourself. Never stop investing in that. Stop seeking validation outside. Start validating your own journey. This simple truth is one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your life. For too long, many people fall into the habit of measuring their worth by the opinions, approval, or recognition of others. We look to social media likes, compliments, promotions, or even casual praise, as if these external signals are the ultimate proof of our value. But relying on external validation is a dangerous trap. It leaves your happiness and self-esteem vulnerable to forces outside your control. The moment that external approval fades, so does your sense of self-worth. Validation from others can feel good temporarily, but it's never lasting or reliable. People's opinions change, their attention shifts, and what once made you feel accepted can quickly disappear. When you build your confidence on such unstable ground, you are constantly chasing approval, often sacrificing your authenticity to fit in or be liked. This cycle drains your energy, clouds your judgment, and keeps you disconnected from your true self. On the other hand, when you learn to validate your own journey, you reclaim control over your self-worth. You recognize that your value is inherent and not dependent on outside recognition. This means celebrating your progress, no matter how small, and acknowledging your efforts even when no one else does. It means understanding that growth is personal and unique. Your challenges, achievements, and lessons belong to you and are worthy of respect, regardless of what others might say. Validating your own journey requires deep self-awareness and self-compassion. It calls for looking honestly at where you are, appreciating how far you've come, and trusting the process of your personal development. You learn to quiet the critical inner voice that often demands perfection or compares you unfavorably to others. Instead, you replace it with encouragement and kindness, honoring your struggles and victories alike. This inner validation also frees you from the need to explain or justify your choices to others. When you are secure in your own understanding of your path, External judgments hold less power over you. You can pursue your goals and make decisions that align with your values without fear of rejection or criticism. This freedom brings confidence, resilience, and a stronger sense of purpose. Another important aspect of self-commitment is recognizing that mistakes and setbacks are not signs of failure but essential parts of growth. When you validate your journey, you give yourself permission to be imperfect, to learn, and to keep moving forward. You stop beating yourself up over perceived shortcomings and start viewing challenges as opportunities to become stronger and wiser. As you practice validating yourself, you'll notice how this mindset transforms your relationships and interactions with others. When you are grounded in your own worth, you attract healthier connections based on mutual respect rather than dependence or approval. You become a source of inspiration for those around you, showing that true confidence comes from within. Remember, your journey is yours alone. No one else lives your life, faces your battles, or dreams your dreams. The only opinion that truly matters is the one you hold about yourself. When you stop seeking validation outside and start validating your own journey, you step into your power. You begin to live authentically, with courage and clarity. So today, make the conscious decision to honor your progress and your path. Celebrate the small wins and the lessons learned. Speak kindly to yourself and trust that you are enough, exactly as you are. When you do this, you no longer need permission from others to shine. Your self-confidence becomes the foundation of your confidence, the engine of your motivation, and the source of your lasting happiness. Start validating your own journey now, because your worth is not determined by others, it is created and affirmed by you. When you believe in yourself first, the world can't help but notice. So in conclusion, your time is your most precious resource. Guard it fiercely and invest it wisely. Don't let comparison and distraction steal your progress. Instead, turn your gaze inward, where true growth begins. Remember, focus is a skill that must be trained by saying no to unnecessary noise, protecting your energy for what truly matters. Invest in yourself consistently because self-investment yields the highest returns in every area of life. Most importantly, stop seeking validation from the outside world and start honoring your own journey. When you embrace these principles, you take control of your life, unlocking your full potential and creating a path of purpose and fulfillment.